Hi, everyone. I hope you all can hear me. This is the Academics at Rensselaer presentation. We're just going to learn a little bit about the academic standards, the programming we have in place so that you are successful here. So we'll go over that. I just want to point out you can ask questions throughout the presentation. So if you want to put any questions in the chat box, feel free to. My colleague Alex is here and she's going to help me, and I can answer some out loud as well. So we'll get started. So this is the academic at Rensselaer portion. I'm Melissa Johnson. I'm one of the admissions counselors, and I'll be presenting today. So as I'm sure you all know, we have 5 different schools to choose from. We have Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences. We have Architecture, we have Science, we have the Lally School of Management, and we have Engineering. I would like to point out engineer is 60% of our population, so just something to keep in mind. So quick academic overview for you. So we're a very data intensive and communication intensive school. So not only do we prepare you STEM wise, but also we do nurture those soft skills. So public speaking, group dynamics, conflict resolution, those types of things. We integrate those soft skills into your courses as well. We want you to be a good communicator as well as whatever an expert in the field you chose to go into. So we are a pretty rigorous institution, but we do have a lot of support available on campus. One of those supports is Advising and Learning Assistance Center, and that is called ALAC. That's the acronym. We have a lot of acronyms here. We also have an iPersist mentor program as well. And then we have a student leadership development center. It's called the Archer Center. So if you're someone who wants to even go deeper into those soft skills, you want those leadership skills, which will prove to be great in the workforce in an interview situation and look great on your resume, that might be something you want to consider if you end up being a student here. Just a few quick statistics for you. We're a 12-to-1 undergraduate student-to-faculty ratio, and something we really pride ourselves on here is 100% of our courses are taught by faculty. We do have student assistants available in each class, and that would be someone who previously excelled in that course and was asked to be an assistant. But yes, 100% of our courses are taught by faculty. So in terms of the ARCH program, you may have heard this term already, but I just want to go over it in depth so you're able to understand. So basically, we have a program in place at Rensselaer that allows you to either do a co-op, internship, study abroad opportunity, research, or civic engagement. So those 5 things count. Or I said co-op and internship, I hope, but that's part of the choices as well. You have to do one of those things in order to fulfill this requirement, and it is at this point a graduation requirement. So every student will go through the ARCH, is what we call it. So coming out of your sophomore year, you will also stay the summer semester. It all works out in the end that you will graduate on time, bearing you have no extra credits or you weren't doing well in a course or something like that. But the standard plan is that everyone still graduates the same with the ARCH plan in place. So you do fall, spring, and then you'll do the summer semester right before junior year. Then, depending on your major, you're organized into either going on your away semester, either the fall or the spring, and it's divvied up by major. In the fall or the spring, depending on when you're assigned to, you have to do one of those 5 things I mentioned. So a co-op, internship, study abroad opportunity, civic engagement, or research. So any of those things fulfill the requirement. We have a lot of support available to help you connect with these opportunities. You're not left out to figure it out on your own. Definitely, we want you to be proactive, but we do have a career center in place. One of the things I really love and value about Rensselaer is our connections. We're a very well-connected school. So in terms of the opportunities available and the opportunities our students have participated in, they're pretty amazing. So there's definitely amazing opportunities to be had, but definitely want you to be proactive, seek them out, work with the Career Center, and they will try to place you somewhere. If it's research you want, they'll work through that with you, whatever you're looking to do. And it's just to enrich your college experience. If you wanted a set time to do a co-op or internship, this is definitely your opportunity. If you're more interested in the research aspect, it's a designated time period that you can focus on doing that. So it really is a great program. So just to reiterate to you, sophomore year is fall, spring, summer. So the summer is called ARCH summer. And then junior year, Depending on your major, you'll be separated in fall and spring, and you have to do one of those 5 things I mentioned to fulfill the requirement. Please note that when you do your away semester, whether it's locally or not, you do have to live off campus. But the Arch Summer, you're required to stay on campus. So just keep that in mind. And if you have any questions about that, I know it might be a little different than what other schools may do. I know other schools have similar programs, but maybe not the same exact. Feel free to put your questions in the chat box. So the School of Architecture here, we have 2 programs offered. We have the B-Arch, which is a 5-year. I will note that you do need a creative portfolio. What are we looking for the creative portfolio? We want to see that you have an artistic sense about you. So any sort of mixed media images, black and white photos, drawings, sculptures, anything to show you have a passion for the field and you're excited to learn more is what we'd like to see. So if you do express an interest in the 5-year on your application, in order to further review your application, we will need to see that portfolio. It is a required piece. There's also another program offered under the umbrella of architecture, and that's building sciences, and that's 4 years. Other schools tend to call it something like construction management, so it's very similar to that. People go into real estate development, consulting for environmental systems, those types of careers. We also have the program called CASE, Center for Architecture, Science, and Ecology in Brooklyn, New York. Also, 80% of our students in the architecture program do choose to study abroad just because of the nature of the major. And then most people don't know, but I think it's a really cool fact about Rensselaer. We have a very strong architecture program. Design Intelligence, we were ranked number 14th in the nation. So it's a really great program. In terms of the facilities associated with our architecture program, we have the Center for Architecture, Science, and Ecology. We also have a Digital Futures Lab. I'm sure you're all aware, but we're a very hands-on institution. So we have a lot of opportunity for that and research. We have a fabrication shop, and we also, like I said, 80% of our architecture students do study abroad. So that's something to note. So study abroad is available for most majors. Architecture tends to participate highly in it. We have undergraduate exchanges in 15 different countries, including Australia, Denmark, Korea, and Singapore. Malika is one of our very successful architecture students, and just to give you kind of the rundown, she's from Maryland. Her major is architecture. Her activities are she's the president of the National Organization of Minority Architecture Students. She was the fashion show director of Black Students Alliance, so BSA for short, and she's also a learning assistant. And she says, Rensselaer has given me a rich experience and challenged me on both an academic and professional level, and I'm a better person because of it. In terms of the School of Engineering, we have 11 different majors to choose from, so lots of choices. We also have an undeclared option, which I will explain in a slide or two as well. In terms of the more popular engineering majors, biomed's very popular, aeronautical, mechanical, but I would say all 11 and as a whole are pretty popular. Like I said, 60% of our population are engineers of some sort. We are ranked number 6 in the US by College Factual for our engineering program. It's a very immersive, multidisciplinary program, very collaborative, very hands-on. In terms of undeclared engineering, so this is a separate option beyond the 11 choices. You would still be under the umbrella of the engineering school, but what this choice would help you do is if you wanted a little time to explore what major you wanted to go into out of the 11, it would give you the opportunity to do so. So basically, when you check that undeclared engineering option, you're put in a 1-credit exploratory course. In that course, they'll bring in guest speakers. You'll do, a kind of a personality assessment, and you'll just get more information on all 11 fields, so you can make a better informed decision. The timeline to make that decision is first semester sophomore year, so definitely keep that in mind. But if you do check undeclared engineering, you will be under the umbrella of engineering and able to choose the 11 out of the 11 once you kind of finish that and you've made up your mind. But the big difference is you're automatically enrolled in that 1-credit course, which just explores all 11 majors. So facility-wise, we have a centrifuge, a manufacturing innovation learning lab, OT Swanson design lab, and a wind tunnel as well. In terms of one of our star engineering student, Lisa, she is mechanical engineering. She's the class president. She's in the pep band, and she's in LEAP, and also involved in undergraduate research. She says, for me, RPI is a place of opportunity. It fosters the ability to form connections, explore science and technology, and prepare for my career. I'm so thankful for the numerous experiences I have encountered throughout my time thus far. I can't wait for senior year. So next, moving on to the School of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences, we have a lot of Bachelor's of Science programs offered. One of the newer ones is Biotechnology and Health Economics. If you're looking to equate that to something, it's most likely, I would say, public health, so very similar to a public health degree. Economics is very popular, and as you'll probably note, that's a more what you would say a liberal arts oriented major. I want to point out we do have those majors available to you. And I think the cool part of, the economics, the music, the philosophy is that we do integrate STEM into those courses. So it's a little bit different than your typical liberal arts, economics, or philosophy, or music, or psychological science. There's definitely more of a STEM heavy focus in those areas. Sustainability is very popular as well. We have a lot of students on campus in our student body that are very passionate about the environment. Our most popular in this school is probably game simulation, arts, and sciences. If you're looking to go in gaming, designing for games, writing for games, this may be the major for you. In terms of portfolio, it is optional at this point, but it's definitely one of the more popular majors in our humanities department. We are actually ranked number 14 among top undergraduate schools to study game design and animation in the US. So it's become a very popular program. So you'll definitely get a feel in Haas for the humanities, but also you're going to feel the STEM and technology woven into the courses. In terms of the School of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences, I just want to point out some of the more common careers that people go into when they have a degree in humanities from Rensselaer. Major animation studios are very popular. Entrepreneurship is extremely popular at this school, not only in humanities, but I'd say across the board. We do have an entrepreneurship center here. Artificial intelligence is a very popular field that students go into. Some of the popular employers for Rensselaer, very impressive: Microsoft, DreamWorks, IBM, Amazon, Target, Facebook, all the big names. In terms of the facilities associated with our humanities department, we have a black box music studio suite, an RAIR lab, product design and innovation studio as well. So even though it is a humanities department, again, our theme across the board at Rensselaer is very hands-on, really collaborative. My favorite building on campus is the Experimental Media and Performing Arts Center. It's a really gorgeous building. We get comments on it all the time, and like I said, it is my favorite. We have an auditorium in there and also different studio suites as well. If you ever, post-COVID, if you come for an admissions event, most likely it will begin in there. So that's also very cool. There's also a cafe downstairs as well if you're there studying and like to eat or whatever the case may be. So very beautiful building. I did want to mention too on the previous slide, I apologize. We also have a new music program as well. We also have 1 credit voice lessons and 1 credit instrumental lessons as well. So if you're interested in pursuing humanities, you're into music, this may be a great path for you. So Rochelle is one of our star humanities students. She's from Summit, New Jersey. She actually has a dual major, psychological science and biological neuroscience. You'll find a lot of students here do have double majors, dual majors. I would describe a Rensselaer student as a very driven individual that has a lot of different interests. So it's not uncommon to see, someone heavily involved in research or dual majors. You'll see a lot of that. Her activities are ski team, food recovery network, Alpha Phi sorority. So we do have frats and sororities on campus. It doesn't consume the campus, but I'd say it's there if you're interested in joining. Undergraduate research she's involved in as well. A lot of our students are involved in research. You can start second semester your freshman year, so you can get going pretty early in your undergrad career. And she says Rensselaer community is definitely a place full of opportunities to take advantage of. Both the students and faculty are always smiling to help you, and it's a huge motivator for getting work done. I am really excited to see what my sophomore year brings. So next is the Lally School of Management. You can get a bachelor's in science and business management. We have accounting, business analytics, entrepreneurship, finance, management, information systems, marketing, supply chain management. We also just added a bachelor in science and business analytics. Again, similar to the humanities school, you are getting a business degree from a tech school. So there will be a lot of information woven into those courses that is tech-based, STEM-based. I'd also like to point out we have a lot of companies that come to recruit on our campus. And because a Rensselaer education is such a great education, they look at all our students for those jobs. So even kind of the more what you would assume are engineering companies, science companies that are coming to recruit for our students, they're also looking at our business students, our humanities students, our architecture students, just because they know the quality education we do provide. And I definitely think it's a plus that you get that STEM background, even if you are in business or even if you are in humanities. So I definitely think that's a plus in being in our humanities and business program. You're getting both sides of things. We have accelerated programs. So we have the BS and MBA for science and engineering students, and we also have the BS JD program with Albany Law School. So the average starting salary for a Lally grad is about $71,000, and the highest reported was $110,000. With an average signing on bonus of $16,000. Some recent top employers are Lally School graduates, pretty impressive. Amazon, Deloitte, IBM, Cisco, Bank of America, UBS, JP Morgan. So all the bigger names. Again, I wanted to point out, we do have a big focus on entrepreneurship on this campus. We have the Severino Center for Entrepreneurship. If you do have a business idea and you want to present it to them, you're able to do so. And if they're interested in seeing the project through, they will work with you to make that vision a reality. So Anna is one of our star business students. She's from Brookline, Massachusetts. Her major is business and management. She's an ALAC tutor. She's an Alpha Phi. She had an ad sales internship recently in New York City. She says being a part of RPI and the Lally School of Management has taught me the importance of working to bridge the gap between communities and the technologies that serve them. I'm excited to be a part of the co-terminal program and pursue a master's of business administration. I'm grateful for my education as it continues to promote my own personal and professional development. Our next school is the School of Science, another very popular school. Just some standout programs. We're number 2 best school to study physics and number 6 best physical science program. So those are 2 things to note. We also have a physician scientist program, which is very popular in terms of interest. It is a 7-year BSMD joint program with Albany Medical College. So if you're looking to become a doctor and you want that career path, this is something you have to apply to out of high school. So this is one of our programs. We still require test scores as well. I will also highlight for you our computer science program. It's a very popular major. In terms of salary, it's one of the highest salaries we have to report. So people in the computer science major are doing very well after the fact. But we do, obviously we're known for our engineering, but I would say computer science comes up a lot as well. Physics, like I said, is very popular. We have a lot of different great programs to choose from in terms of the School of Science. So some of the facilities associated with our science program, we have the Center for Biotech and Interdisciplinary Studies. This will be where all research is conducted, where all your professors' offices will be, and you may even have class in here. Darren Freshwater Institute, we do a lot of research work with the Freshwater Institute. We have the Center for Computational Innovations, and we also have an observatory as well. So we invest $100 million in our research funding each year. As I gave those student profiles to you, I know a lot of students mentioned they were involved in research. I can tell you I just got off a student research panel, and I got to hear about all the amazing things our students are doing in research as well. So that's definitely a popular avenue people go in terms of, having that research experience, building their resume, getting multiple research opportunities as well. You can start as early as second semester, your freshman year, so you can get going pretty early in your career in terms of building that research experience. We have a lot of interdisciplinary signature research areas, there's a huge emphasis on collaboration on this campus, so it's not odd to see two different majors working together on a research project. So I think that aspect is great about RPI. And more than 900 students participate in undergraduate research per year. So one of our science students, she's geology and astrobiology. Her name's Kiera. She's president of the Science Ambassadors, VP of She's First. It's a nonprofit organization that raises money for girls' education in developing countries. That's wonderful. Sigma Gamma Epsilon, Earth and Environmental Honor Society. She's an undergraduate researcher at Harvard University, which is very prestigious. Undergraduate research at the SETI Institute as well. She says the tight-knit community with the Earth and Environmental Science Department and the RPI community as a whole has allowed me to grow not only intellectually, but personally as well. RPI has given me the space to make valuable connections with not only my peers, but faculty and staff as well. And I couldn't picture myself studying anywhere else. So another major we have is ITWS, that stands for Information Technology and Web Science. So this isn't under any of our 5 schools, it's its own entity. It's a unique multidisciplinary program, and you would receive, if you completed the program, a bachelor's in science in ITWS. So you're exploring information technologies from an engineering and social perspective. We have lots of different concentrations, just some of them to mention. Artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, data science, finance, machine and computational learning, medicine. We're ranked number best undergraduate ITWS program in the US. So this major has become very popular, particularly in the last couple of years. Anyone who had a 3.0 or above was placed 100% last year. So they have really high rate of placement. Also, the average starting salary for someone going into this field graduating from Rensselaer is about $96,000. So you have a pretty nice starting salary as well. So we have a great co-term program. So what a co-term program is when you extend your undergrad and receive a master's. So it is an accelerated program, usually completed in about a year. It allows students to continue their undergraduate research and can be an excellent segue to a doctoral study. You can also extend your eligible undergraduate Rensselaer financial aid and earn a bachelor's and a master's degree within 10 semesters. So up on the screen, I'll have you take a minute to read down the popular minor examples, common dual majors, concentration examples. If you want a complete list of the academic programs at Rensselaer, the web address is up on the screen. And like I said, I would describe an Rensselaer student as a very curious individual, very driven go-getter. So it's not unusual to see students participate in a lot of different things, whether that be, they're really into the extracurriculars, they're really into research, or they have a double or dual major, or maybe they do all 3. So people are very active on our campus, which I think is a special part of our campus community. So I'm getting to the end here. I see that there's questions in the chat. We can answer them. So is the Arch summer the whole summer? It is not the whole summer. It's a bit of a shortened semester. Could we do 2 multiple semesters away if time is permitted, or are we restricted to 1? If you were to go any longer than the designated time period, you might risk graduating late. That would be something you'd have to confer with your advisor about. I know some students at Rensselaer tend to bring in a lot of AP credits, and that could afford you some time, but it really is an individual decision, and kind of you need to review where you're at and if you're willing to graduate late, or maybe you're above and beyond and you came in with a lot of credits and that's more feasible for you. So I think it's really individual, and I would definitely suggest, if you were to come here, meeting with your advisor, kind of looking at your graduation plan and then deciding from there. Just to clarify, those 5 things are available outside of the arch, correct? For example, you aren't just limited to research done during the summer semester, correct? No. So just to confirm, so you have to stay that summer. Um, you'll do sophomore year, you'll do fall, spring, summer. And then depending on your major, fall or spring, you can either choose to do a research opportunity, co-op, internship, civic engagement, or study abroad. So one of those 5 things or a combination will fulfill the requirement. If an applicant to the BSMD program is not admitted, will they be considered for admission into Rensselaer for a different major? So if you meet the regular admission requirements outside the BSMD program, you will be given a soft deny. So what that will offer you is a spot in our School of Science. You will be limited to the School of Science as a choice for your first year at Rensselaer if you choose to come here. Just at that point, we've kind of decided our majors and how many students are in each. So we can't have all these people flocking. So we limit you to that major for 1 year. If you want to move out of science, if you want to move out of the School of Science after the year, you're welcome to. So yes, if you do meet regular admission requirement, you may receive a soft deny. That's not everybody, but some people do. What are their portfolio requirements to apply for the School of Architecture? So it is a required thing that you submit some sort of portfolio. What's in it can vary. So just some examples I've seen or have heard about. So mixed media images, sculptures, drawings, photos of some sort. Really what we're looking for is anything to show you have a creative edge and a passion for the field. So just keep those 2 things in mind. You can get creative with it. That's kind of the point. But just to give you some ideas of what people, put in it. Like I said, sculptures, mixed media images, photos, drawings, sketching of any sort, work you've done in school, work you've done outside of school, doesn't matter. Does RPI accept existing credits from Suny, Cuny schools? So it depends. Again, that's something you'll have to confer with your advisor. If you were to come to campus and commit to being a student, we do usually have a summer orientation. As it gets closer to your time of coming here, that's something you may reach out to an advisor about. I just, as an admissions counselor, am not a decision maker on that. We accept some things and other things cannot be accepted. So it just depends. All right. Any other questions people have?